ActiveCampaign Lists. You will notice at the bottom there it says, Auntie Kay says no more lists. I frown upon accounts with lots of lists in for all sorts of reasons, which I'm going to dive into just a little bit today, super quickly, to let you know what are lists actually for in ActiveCampaign. Okay, now one of the reasons we have to talk about this is because it's widely misunderstood by ActiveCampaign users, and it causes all sorts of problems for people when they use lists in a way that ActiveCampaign doesn't like you to use lists, especially for people who are migrating into ActiveCampaign. They've been using another email platform, they come to ActiveCampaign and they're using lists in a way that ActiveCampaign just doesn't like it. Here we go. What are lists actually for in ActiveCampaign? Right, here's Monkey. Monkey is a contact in my ActiveCampaign account. Now, if you want to send any emails to Monkey, Monkey has got to be subscribed, actively subscribed to at least one list in your ActiveCampaign account. You can have lots of lists in your ActiveCampaign account, right? So you could have any number of lists. I've seen accounts that have 200 lists in. And Monkey could be on one or more of those lists, but you can't send any emails to Monkey unless he's actively subscribed to at least one of them. Okay, so that's an important thing to know about lists. You could run your ActiveCampaign account, have loads of contacts in there, and none of the contacts is on any lists at all. You don't have to put contacts on lists, but if you want to email them, you do. Right, so you can have loads of lists, but having loads of lists is not a great idea in ActiveCampaign, and I'm going to show you why. I've seen often people get told to use lists to sort their contacts out into big chunks, like customers, suppliers, stuff like this. You can do that, but again, I'm going to advise you it's not a great idea. I'm going to talk about just one list at a time, right? So here's Monkey's contact record. Remember we talked about custom fields, we've got contactivity, we've got tags, we've got the main contact information list. Okay, and a list has a name. I like to use capital letters and short words for my lists just because it makes my life easy. There are numerous ways that people in your account, i.e. your contacts, can get onto or be removed from a list. So you could add them manually, or you could have an integration that puts them on a list, or you could have an automation, or use an import. There's all sorts of ways that you can add a contact to your list in ActiveCampaign. Happy days, they're on the list. Once they're on the list, their technical status is that they are subscribed to your list. So far, so great, all happy. Here's where it goes wrong. Monkey here comes along and hits the unsubscribe button in an email that you've sent him. Now he's not in the list. So something that you thought you knew about Monkey is now showing as they're not in the list, right? Because Monkey has hit the unsubscribe button in an email. So Monkey took action and said, actually, I don't want to be in your list, so I'm over here. So now when you do a search for people who are in the list, Monkey's not going to come up because he's unsubscribed from the list. It means two things. One, he doesn't come up in the search, but also you now can't email Monkey from that list. Sticky, right? Monkey also has some agency with getting on lists. If you have forms that they can fill out, right? Monkey can fill out the form and get on the list. But there's some complications there too, right? Because if you've got a double opt-in, then Monkey might remain as sort of on the list, but actually unconfirmed. Are they in the list or are they not in the list? They've kind of added to the list, but they're kind of not. Unconfirmed. That's a bit of a grey area in the middle. The other thing that can happen is that Monkey here, who is on your list, who probably opted themselves in, then says not only do they not want to go on the list, but actually they want to mark you as spam. Now they've really taken harsh action and they are well off the list, and nobody is letting them back on that list again because they've previously marked it as spam. So Monkey's causing all sorts of trouble here, and you can't put him back. Once Monkey's come over to here by unsubscribing from one of your emails, you cannot put him back over here manually or by automation. Right? So the message I'm giving you here is you are not in control of whether your contact is on this list or not, because they're in control of it as well. They've got an agency here. The other thing that comes into play is our dear buddy ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign is watching all this stuff that's going on, watching what Monkey's up to, watching what we're up to. Here's this other thing that can happen. If ActiveCampaign tries sending an email to Monkey, the contact who is on the list, and that email gets bounced back, ActiveCampaign takes them off the list. Boom. So now ActiveCampaign's doing things as well. And here's the worst thing, right? Imagine you've got 10 of these or more, lots and lots of different lists. And Monkey might be on 4 or 5 different lists, right? If you send out an ActiveCampaign email using an automation, and Monkey here hits the unsubscribe button from that automated email, the automated email is not associated with any specific list. And here's what ActiveCampaign does when Monkey hits the unsubscribe button. Every single list that Monkey is on is moved to unsubscribed. Not in the list. Can't send them. That's called a global unsubscribe, and it causes more trouble than you can possibly imagine in accounts that have lots and lots of lists. And most active campaigners don't even know that that's a thing. So just to remind you what happened there, Monkey here is on lots of lists because you've got your account set up. It's got lots of lists in it, and you're using it in a way of like, is Monkey a student? Did they go to this webinar? Have they purchased something from me? All sorts of things. You're using lists in that way. You send Monkey an automation email. Monkey doesn't want that particular email, hits the unsubscribe button. Boom. ActiveCampaign takes them off all of the lists in your account. And you can't send them any emails anymore because the automation didn't know which list Monkey intended to come off. So I'm going to round that up for you. You can use lists to segment your accounts, but it's a bad idea because we, the account owner, are not in control of any individual contact at any given time of whether they're on the list, off the list, bounced, unsubscribed, inactive, unconfirmed. There are a lot of complicated and subtle things. The main purpose of a list in your account is to signify I have got permission to email this person and they still want to hear from me, and ActiveCampaign is still okay for me to send to them. So ActiveCampaign's watching. If they hard bounce, it's going to take them off the list because ActiveCampaign will not send to them if they've hard bounced. You might want to take them off the list. The contact themselves might want to come off the list. We're all playing this game together. So it's like a tug of war in there. Don't use lists to segment your account. That's my best advice for you. What you should use to segment and know stuff about your contacts is tags and custom fields, which brings us neatly back to the contact record. We've got all these different toys to play with. So we've got custom fields where we can put in values and know stuff about them. We've got tags, we've got contact activity. This bit here, the list, is only for, is Monkey cool with me sending to him? Am I cool with sending to Monkey? And is ActiveCampaign cool with it? If the answer is yes, they're going to be on that list. Job done.